Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and what we have this time is the Ogata Shitogami or White number 2 Petty 150mm knife. So these knives have a 3-layer construction, well actually multiple layers, but the inside hardcore cutting edge steel is what's known as Shitogami or White paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. Heat treats typically around 61, 62 Rockwell on that core steel, so it's a reactive steel. The cladding is soft iron, and it's a multiple layered cladding. You can see the pattern here on the grind. And so what they've done is created an etched finish on this blade road, and you can see the patina taken on by the core cutting edge steel, and then the layers kind of pop on the cladding. So it's an all reactive knife. The finish on this they call Lightning KU finish on it, so it's a very attractive blade. Kind of pre-patinaed for you with that acid etch. The weight and dimensions will vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this one is 75 grams or 2.6 ounces. The edge length is 152 millimeters or 6 inches. The overall length is 11 inches or 280 millimeters. The spine thickness coming out of the handle, it's about 2.5 millimeters in thickness, but then we thin out real quick after that. And it's about 1.5, I measured halfway down. And it pretty much holds that, maybe gains just a touch back until you hit the grind. And then the grind's not super tall on these, but you can see it thins out nicely at the tip. And if we take a look here at the choil or back of the blade shot, that's what it looks like. Let's see, blade height is a little under 34 millimeters at the back of the blade, and the handle is an octagonal ambidextrous rosewood with a black packawood ferrule. Nice tight install on the handle. This particular one's got some nice figuring on the underside of the wood, but the size of the handle is appropriate to the size of the knife. It's about 65 millimeters or 2.5 inches roughly in circumference where the two materials meet. And then you've got a little bit of a curve here for your finger to fit if you want to use a pinch grip on this. Obviously very light. Balance point is going to be back a little bit just because the handle is not the lightest wood in the world and the blade's light, so kind of your balance point is kind of just in front of the handle. Let's see, out of the box edge, I'd say 6 out of 10. Hit a pretty decent out of the box edge on it. Pretty nicely crafted edge bevel. You can see that right there, shining in the light. So this has a lot aesthetically going on for it. We've got the layers of the Damascus, or some people call it suminagashi, which is like a layered paper effect. And you've got the patina on the core steel, so it's pre-patinaed for you. You've got a mottled kudauchi or blacksmith protective finish on the rest of the blade. You can see the layers showing through on the left side of the blade. The left side of the blade has some kanji. It feels like it's engraved on it. Probably could be laser or chisel engraved. It's really hard to tell a little bit on it, but it is there. So it's a nice effect. The right side of the blade kind of has a mottled pattern. It's not very textured, but you can see a mottled pattern to it. It's a flat, not shiny. There doesn't appear to be any kind of lacquer coating on this blade. The spine, they've relieved the corners just a little bit. They've relieved and done a nice job of finishing off the choil into the neck, so it's real comfortable. So the fit and finish really is pretty good on these. You've got a fair amount of stiffness to the blade in the front half, and the back half, and the front half's got a little bit of flex to it, as you might expect. If you look at the kind of general shape of this, you'll see it's kind of in a category of petties. Sometimes we've kind of gotten in the Chef Knives to Go forums, they talk about something that looks like a mini gyuto or more utility style petty. So this is the mini gyuto style. If you look at the general shape, it does look like a mini kind of 210 gyuto style, just shrunk down versus something that's a lot less tall at the heel, maybe 30 range or 29 or 28. It's going to be more of a utility knife style. So this one will be a little more versatile on the board for just different kind of tasks where you might just want a small knife but still do a lot of similar things that you might do with a full-size knife for smaller product, of course. But here's your edge profile. So just a pretty good versatile overall edge profile. You've got a little bit of flattish area towards the back, a little bit of roll into the back heel there, And then kind of a medium-low tip, so I can get in that area there as far as rocking, which is pretty high for this size of blade. So, you know, pretty versatile profile. So this, you know, you got pretty good clearance on the board for your fingers, and so you could definitely use this in a lot of ways. It's a nice little utility knife. It looks cool. It's got that acid etch on it. It's all reactive, but it'll sharpen up like crazy, and it'll be very easy to sharpen. This steel sharpens up awesome, and will get as sharp as you can make it. So this is the Ogata Shidogami or white number 2 Petty 150mm knife.